Welcome back to my channel. Okay guys, so in today's video, I actually have a very special guest with me. I have Cheyenne from Plant My Happy Space. Hey Cheyenne!
Hey Nicole! Hey all Nicole's subscribers!
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm excited to do this video with you.
I'm so excited. We have been planning this for a few weeks now, I'd say. Cheyenne needed to give me a good kick in the butt this past week to get it going, and I'm glad, I'm glad that you did. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be repotting a couple of plants just to kind of give you guys something to watch. And we both have some plants that need to be repotted, right Cheyenne? You got some over there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you guys don't already know, Cheyenne has quite an impressive collection. So when you're done watching this video, go click over on her channel because we're going to do a video over on her channel too, which I'm really excited about. But her plants are going to be way more impressive than mine. I'm going to show my plants really quick and show you what I'm going to be repotting. This is a Haworthia of some sort. Can you see that, Cheyenne?
Oh yeah.
It's yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna find in there, but it's a Haworthia of some sort. I don't even know really what it is, and it's been in there for like a year and a half, so that should be interesting. And then I have this Peperomia floribunda that I got from Pam's Pretty Plants, and I had it in leca, but it's not doing that great in leca, so I think I'm gonna repot it and put it into soil. So very tiny plants to repot today. What do you have, Cheyenne?
So the first one I want to do is I have this philodendron red emerald that I want to repot.
Ooh.
And I took some cuttings of it so that I could have like multiple growing in the same pot.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to put those rooted cuttings in there.
Cute.
And that one will be in soil. And then I've got my anthurium, Boraquianum or Queen Anthurium that I'm going to put into leca.
What did I say? What did I say about the impressive plants? So beautiful. You said you're going to put it in leca?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Fun,
so
fun,
I already took the soil off of it just so like we didn't have to watch that boring long process.
Yeah.
But I've seen like all my other anthuriums that I've put into leca are loving life, so I feel like that one needs to go into leca next.
Yeah, that's exciting. Taking the soil off of the roots is therapeutic, but it does take a really long time.
Yeah, I always had the hardest time because I feel like some plants that have been in soil forever almost are like, the roots are almost stained brown. Like you feel like you've gotten all the soil off, but they still look brown and they're not rotted. They're just that color now.
Yes, and it's so hard to tell the difference, and then you're like, oh, was that a root or was that soil that I just pulled off? I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, very nice. I can't wait to see you repot those. And while we repot, I thought I would give you guys some little questions that we have for each other and share some questions we have with each other. So we're going to ask each other 5 questions, and we don't know what those questions are. Do you have your questions written down? Because I totally wrote mine down.
Yeah, I've got mine typed up on my iPad.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's get started. I think I'm going to repot this one first, my Haworthia. Okay, cool. All right, so why don't you start by asking me a question, Cheyenne?
Okay. My first question that I had for you was, if you could only own one genus of plant, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. That is really, really difficult. I would have to say, I'd have to say philodendron. I mean, I absolutely love all of my cacti, like love them, but oh man, that's really hard. That's really hard. I just realized I forgot a little cup. That's okay, I'll just use this. I'm gonna just go with philodendron, and I'll probably get some heat on this because people are like, what the heck are you talking about, Nicole? You love your cactus. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
Oh, that's difficult. Okay, we're starting hard, are we? All right, let's see. A question for you. I'm going to start with a personal question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
So like just for my preferences, or also taking into account the plant addiction?
Yeah, let's do taking into account the plant addiction. Before you answer that, what in the heck is this? There is no roots. Oh my gosh, how is this even alive? Look at the, oh, I'm going to show the camera. Look at this. There are absolutely no roots on this, but it is not rotted out. It is, and it's healthy. I have no clue. I'm dumbfounded, but we're gonna pot it in here. Okay, go ahead. Answer that question.
So if like, just for my pure enjoyment, there are plenty of places overseas that I would love to live, but keeping into account the plant addiction, I already live in Florida, and I've only lived here for about a year, and I don't think I've lived anywhere this great for my plants.
Really?
Yes. My household humidity, if I had no humidifiers on whatsoever, is always between 50 and 60%. And the like winter months, when it comes to like at least sunlight, is non-existent. It's bright year round.
That is amazing. I know. Florida is just so ridiculously humid that I feel like any plants would thrive there. It's pretty humid in Chicago too, though. Like you said, between 50 and 60%. I want to say it's probably around 50% at all times in my house as well. Like in the summer.
Yeah.
In the winter, it's not, obviously.
Yeah. I think that's just because both like Chicago, even though it's like in Illinois, it's so close to the water that you still get that ambient humidity.
Exactly.
Before moving to Florida, I actually used to live in Illinois.
Oh, really?
But I lived super southern Illinois. Like I was 30 minutes away from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
And
I think you told me that. That's right. That's crazy.
Yeah, and the humidity that I had in my house there was non-existent. No, not a single part of the year did I have humidity in my house.
Oh, see, that makes sense because you're not by any real bodies of water over there.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So Florida is your happy place.
Oh, yeah. If I can live here I'm going to try to live here as long as I can.
Nice. Do you like the heat? Now I'm asking another question. Bonus question.
Unplanned questions. So I like dry heat. I don't like humid heat because I'm not a big sweater. That's my big thing, is I just don't like being wet. So I don't like the sweat that comes with humidity, and I don't like the rain that comes with winter. If I could just if it was 100 degrees every day, I'd be totally fine if it was a dry heat.
Yeah. Like Arizona or like the desert.
Yes. So I spent like 8 months in Kuwait, which is a country in the Middle East.
Yeah, wow.
And it was really, really nice there because in the summer, I guess it gets very humid, but I was there during the dry season. And that was kind of like perfect for me. It was very hot, but it wasn't humid at all.
I like that too. Like I always thought that I couldn't live anywhere where it was hot all year round. But after my mom moved to Arizona a couple years ago and with me visiting so often, I can tolerate that hot. Although the summer, like right now, it's like 110 constantly, but it feels like Chicago 90s, you know?
Yeah.
Those are some hefty roots on there.
I know, I was not expecting that.
Well, I wasn't expecting no roots, so I guess we're even. Okay, I kind of have mine in here. I'm going to top this off with a little bit of like pumice stone. I like to do that with all my cacti, succulent type plants. But I don't have any in front of me, but it's in there. I am just so curious to see what this plant does. I don't know how in the heck it has no root. Does that even make any sense to you?
No, I mean, how long have you had it?
Literally like a year and a half. I have no clue. Like, it's like, is it fake? No, it's not fake. It's so crazy to me. I don't even know. I don't know. Leave me some comments on what you think is going on with my Haworthia.
Okay, so my next question is, what is the biggest plant you have?
My Alocasia Regal Shield is the biggest plant that I have.
Is that?
I'm lying. Probably our our bird of paradise is the biggest plant that I have, but it's not doing very well. So it might be on its last leg. I literally just moved it outside because it's just being a complete and total diva. Yeah, so I'm gonna say my Alocasia Regal Shield. That's my biggest plant.
Like height or pot size?
I'd say height, like leaf size, because it's actually only in a 8-inch pot right now.
Really?
Yeah, but it has like 7 gigantic leaves on it, and it just keeps growing. Like, I have the best luck with alocasias. I don't know what it is. People are constantly telling me that like they get spider mites constantly. They hate them. Like, I'm sorry. Don't have.
You're like can't relate.
Can't relate. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's my biggest plant. Question for you.
I'm ready.
All right. I have a lot of personal questions actually.
That's fine.
Looking at it. Would you ever consider living off grid? And this is more of a selfish question for me because me and my husband talk about this very often.
So I think about it every once in a while, and I don't think I could live totally off grid. I would love to live somewhere that's kind of like maybe like 20 minutes into like away from a major city. So I'm kind of like living a little rural, but not really.
Yeah.
But I can't do totally off the grid because one, I am a giant internet fiend. Like I can't go 5 seconds without looking at some type of thing on the internet, whether it's social media or wasting my money on Amazon. Like I can't go that long with no internet. And a lot of those places, like you either don't have internet, which is kind of like the point of being off the grid.
Right.
But if you chose to get internet, you have to pay so much money and like literally ask a company to like come build a tower in that area so that you can get internet.
Yes.
And
it's insane.
I don't think I could do it for that point alone, but I don't know. I'm big on like I like still like having accessibility to things.
Mhm. Yeah.
And my biggest fear of being off the grid is like when anything last minute or heaven forbid emergency wise happens. Like if you're truly off the grid and like one of my dogs or like when I have kids have some type of, emergency. Yeah. That's the time that it takes to get to a hospital is like make or break sometimes.
Yeah, that's really true because I mean, you like you said, you are really far out from any source of anything. The reason I ask that is because we go back and forth on it all the time. Well, we don't think we could live off the grid either. We've talked about tiny living, like once the kids are out of the house and like it's just us and the dogs. Which, sad to say, is not that far away when I think about it. but yeah, we watch a lot of shows like in YouTube channels of people living off the grid, and it's just so interesting to me, like how people do it. And there's something intriguing about it, but I don't know if I could either. I totally agree with you with the whole internet thing,
Yeah, I think it would be one of those things that I think I would love it and I would for like a week, and then after that be like, all right, we're done here.
We're done. We got to move back. All right, you got a question for me?
Yes, and I just finished my first one.
Oh, let's see. That is the cutest stand. So cute. Look at that. And I didn't even see you do the moss pole. Shoot, I wasn't even like really paying attention. That is so cute. I love it. It's gonna be happy in there.
Yeah, hopefully. Half the reason why I also cut and propagated it was it showed up and it was so tall and you could see that it wanted a moss pole. Like that was just how it wanted to live its life. It was somehow standing completely straight. And I just decided that it deserved one. Yeah. I've made a huge mess.
What kind of moss poles do you use? Do you use the ones with the wooden base or the metal base?
So I just started using some for the wooden base, but I think I like buying the ones with the metal base now just because I can use them for both soil and leca.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I can't really use the wooden ones for leca.
I love the wooden ones because you can kind of like add them on and like extend. But yeah, I'm finding that they rot in both soil and leca. So I'm like, ugh. But with the metal pole ones, I haven't found anywhere you can extend it.
I actually found some of those on Amazon with that have metal bottoms that you can extend.
Ooh, okay,
I'll have to send you the link.
Yeah, definitely. Send me the link or put it in your description of your video and I'll buy it from your description. Okay, all right, let's see here. I actually just finished repotting my second plant. So I think I'm gonna grab another one that needs to be repotted, but this is my Floribunda. It looks really cute. I love it. I think it's cute. And yeah, I got this from Pam, but it just was not a fan of leca. And I actually have another couple peperomias in leca and they're doing fine. So I don't know what her problem was, but.
So my third question is, what did your husband think when you came up with the idea that you might want to do YouTube videos?
Well, actually, it was kind of, he suggested it to me actually. Yeah,
really?
Because, yeah, I honestly, like, this is a little bit of tea, but I've never really watched YouTube before, like, I started YouTube. Like, for just a few months, I got into YouTube because I was watching other plant tubers, and he saw me watching other plant tubers, and he's like, you know you could do that, right? And I was like, So he actually suggested it to me. Never thought I would do it in a million years, and then I did. So, okay, so I have a Syngonium macrophyllum here, which I got from, it's a little baby, and it's got a little baby coming out of it too. I got this from Planting the World Red, Ashley. She sent this to me as a gift, and I love it. And it's been in here since she sent it to me. So I'm going to get it repotted because I haven't even checked the roots yet, but it looks like some are poking through the bottom. So, okay, question for you.
Okay.
What's a plant in your collection that you absolutely hate and that you'd throw away right now if you could? If like it didn't, you know, break your heart to throw away a plant.
I am so heartless when it comes to my plants.
Are you?
Like,
so am I.
So if it's the only time I would feel bad getting just like literally throwing a plant away is if I know it's like really rare or endangered or hard to get. Then obviously like I would never even think about just throwing it away. I would just sell it or give it to someone.
Yeah.
But anything that I know I can replace super easily, it's not rare, probably sold at Lowe's, I just chuck whenever I so choose. Just throw it out.
Put it on the porch.
Yeah. I'm really bad. So my version of putting it on the porch is I put it in the garage because that's where my usual repot station is. And I tell myself if I repot it into a cuter planter, I might like it better.
Oh.
So I leave it at my repot station, get busy, it dies, and I just don't care.
You know, that could work. That could have some truth to it. Like repotting a plant into a new planter. Yeah, that could possibly work.
Yeah, but I think the one that there's only one in my house that I truly like, I would totally throw away is my golden pothos because I personally do not see why people even like golden pothos.
Wait, hold on. You mean that? They grow like weeds.
I know a lot of people buy them specifically because they need like low light plants, which I totally understand. Yeah. But usually once they're in low light, the golden isn't existent anymore after a while. Like it just becomes green.
True.
So I'm like, when I see people who have like the giant, like 10-inch leaf ones that like have fenestrations and soup, like the ones that basically look like monsteras but aren't. like when I see those, I get why people want them. And then I
Yeah.
see the ones that are in like my house, which is like literally 99.9% green.
Same.
And I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't. And the only reason I have it is because I've got like this weird shelf that's like built into the house, and it's right by the ceiling. So like I can't even get up there without like a 10-foot ladder.
Oh gosh.
And so I was like, well, it's a really empty space, and obviously I like plants, so I got to find a way to fill that space with plants.
Pothos is the way to go.
Yep. So I went to Lowe's, got a 8-inch pothos, and I water it like once every 6 weeks. And that's well, because it's in such low light, and I intentionally put it in a pot a little bit too big, so that I don't have to go up there.
Yeah. It'll retain the water more so.
Yeah. By the way, people, I don't recommend intentionally overpotting your plants.
Yeah.
Don't recommend that.
But that's a good idea though. If you have like one that you can't really get to very often, that works for a pothos, because pothos are pretty damn resilient. But you know, doing that with like, I don't know, any other plant might be risky. Okay, so pothos. You hate pothos. Perfect. Good to know.
Everybody's gonna hate me now, but that's fine.
No, I highly doubt it.
All of your subscribers are like, oh, this is the one. This is the one we...
Cancel. She's canceled. That's it. Pothos hater. All right, look at the roots on this. Looks pretty fancy, huh?
Ooh.
Really?
That one has roots.
Yeah, thank you, right? Really good root system. Because the Floribunda didn't have I didn't even show you, but didn't have very many roots either. There were roots there, and they were healthy, but nothing substantial. This has 2 new growth points and like a very healthy root system. So I'm excited about this little guy. Even though Syngonium, not my favorite, but this is cute. I like this one.
Well, I just finished repotting my Queen Anthurium. So this is what it looks like.
So gorgeous. Oh my god.
I can't take these 2 leaves were here when I got them. This is the only leaf it's grown in my care.
Wow. How long have you had it again?
Maybe about 3 months, maybe.
Oh, well, that's impressive growth for, only having a plant for 3 months.
Yeah, I think I was more impressed that, like, these were the 2 leaves it came with, and I still have those 2 leaves, because anthuriums are, like, renowned for just being like, oh, you moved me, drop all my leaves.
Yeah.
I think I messaged you when I started doing LECA, but I just started, like, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And almost every single one of my anthuriums that I have put into LECA have already put out a new leaf for me.
That is so exciting.
I think they just love it.
I know you were worried about it. That is so cool. You'll have to do a video on like your LECA stuff.
I feel like I need to have at least one failure in LECA before I can do it, because I would hate to be like, LECA's the easiest, everybody do exactly what I'm doing, and then every person's like, well, my shit died, thanks Cheyenne.
Thanks Cheyenne. Yeah, I've had a couple failures with LECA, but for the most part, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
That is a gorgeous plant that you got there, girl.
Yeah, this one.
So pretty.
Thank you.
Hope it does good in there. I am finished with mine as well. There it is. There she is. In all of her glory. I can't wait for this new little leaf to pop out. What is your dream job? Could be plant related, could not be.
So, this is going to be really corny. It's not plant related. I love plants, but I don't want to do it as a full-time job.
Okay.
The job I currently have is my dream job.
Oh.
I know.
Does your boss watch YouTube? No, I'm just kidding.
I wish. My coworkers know that I do YouTube, and none of them are planty people, so they genuinely think I'm like the only person on YouTube interested in this.
There's a whole community.
Yeah, they think that I'm just like the first plant YouTuber, and I've got like 3 subscribers because nobody likes plants. Like, this is what they think my life is. That's
hilarious. I think that's what everybody thinks when they hear like, yeah, I'm doing YouTube. It's like, oh, okay, have fun with that. Like, whatever.
I am in the Air Force, and my job in the Air Force is, the definition of it is public affairs, which we do different things than what the civilian sector would think public affairs is. So it's basically like working at a news agency, whether it be like a news channel like on TV or like a newspaper, but it's news, and you basically do every job like in that office. So if you're the person that's the news anchor, so you're usually just the one talking, you also have to shoot your own video and edit your own video and
like
do
you
everything
two.
like that. Yes. But we do photo stuff and writing stories and social media. So that's kind of like an all-encompassing. Basically, we produce products. Like that's like the kind of definition of what I do in the military.
Very cool.
So I spend a lot of my days taking pictures, and then I'll post them on social media or write like an article with it and stuff like that.
Cool. Well, that does sound like fun.
Yeah.
And it's no wonder you're so good at your job on YouTube too, because that says a lot. Like you do it pretty, yeah. Stop.
That's why, like, I kind of get almost a little bit upset because, so there are rules saying that I can't use my government equipment for my personal stuff, right? So I can't, use my fancy cameras and editing equipment that I have at my office for my YouTube videos.
Wow.
So, because it's government equipment, and I technically can make money off YouTube, so that would be me using basically government equipment for my own business. Like,
I get it. Yeah.
They don't really approve of that stuff. So it was kind of hard for me when I first started YouTube because I didn't have my personal camera. I didn't have an editing like software or anything like that because I had never needed it, and I had like the best of the best at work. So when I started using only my phone and iMovie, I was like, this looks like shit. This looks like shit. Because
I did the same thing.
Because I knew what I could do if I had, like, all the equipment of my choosing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, our stories are very similar because I'm a photographer and, like, my photography camera is not great with video. So it's very frustrating for me for something that didn't autofocus in video. And, like, I have this expensive ass camera that I can technically use, but I can't to vlog. And it was very frustrating. Yeah, I feel ya.
That's why it was kind of frustrating, but it was kind of nice when I first started getting into YouTube and had money to buy my own equipment because I already knew what I wanted. Like, I knew what, like, kind of factors the camera had and what capabilities that I wanted and was looking for.
Yeah, I actually forgot to mention, if you are new to my channel, this is your very first video that you're watching, go watch some of my other videos because Cheyenne gifted me some amazing plants in the past and I unbox them and I talk about them in my videos. You're just amazing, like seriously. Like I look at those plants and I'm just like, can I be your friend?
So this one might have a little bit of tea. Okay, the last two might.
Okay.
So, what is the most annoying part of being on YouTube?
Oh, I can answer this now, honestly. It's the trolls. Unfortunately, there's quite a bit of trolls in the plant community, and I'm gonna just say in every community on YouTube. And by trolls, I mean people that are just like seeking out to take you down, like by any means necessary. I went live the other day. If you guys were on my live video, I'm not sure, but I still have it up if you want to go watch it. You can't read any of the comments, but it's up. But like people were just popping in and just saying some horrible, like derogatory things. And I think that that's what a lot of people are scared of. Like, and that's why people don't want to start a YouTube channel. And it's upsetting because it is definitely probably the biggest downfall to doing YouTube. You have to deal with the crap comments and you have to deal with, if you go live, somebody hijacking your live, Yeah. But I can honestly say that is like nothing compared to like just how great the plant community is. Like I've made some amazing friendships along the way. So I feel like, was it worth it? Like, yeah, and I'm still going to do it and it's not going to stop me, but it sucks. And YouTube just needs to get better at that. Like they need to stop these people, Jeez. Yeah. Okay. So my last question is something kind of personal and it might hit a nerve. But the reason I'm asking this is because I'm in the community and I'm a wedding photographer. So I genuinely want to know. And I feel like a lot of people are like at this place right now in 2020. You just got married.
I did.
Congratulations. Because you were an absolutely beautiful bride, despite you having to completely cancel your wedding, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, like, what was the worst part of all of that? And did you deal with any, like, shitty vendors in the process? Because those of you that know, that are on my channel, and if you're here from Cheyenne's channel, I'm a wedding photographer, and our business is pretty much at a standstill. Like, this year has been total, you know, and it's been really hard. And my heart and soul is like with all of my brides and grooms. And we've been working really, really hard to just be able to reschedule their weddings or like do what we can to, you know, give back to them. Like, you know, just the situation, it's nobody's fault, you know? So that's my question. Is that too personal?
No.
Okay, good.
So
Good.
I will say this is not going to be a quick answer.
Okay.
So obviously nobody anticipated how bad this was going to get. And originally when we started being told that there was possible, you know, quarantining and people, you know, not being allowed to travel and stuff like that, it slowly progressed to being worse and worse. So originally when we started hearing bad news about our wedding, it was probably about 2 months before our wedding. And we were told that my husband's parents couldn't come because they live in Italy. And that was one of the worst countries to get hit. They closed down airports for a very long time. So we were told his parents couldn't come, which obviously broke our hearts. It's his parents, and I love his parents, so that broke our hearts. But it wasn't going to stop us. And then a lot of our family is also in the military, and the military all got told, for safety reasons, nobody's traveling. So
Gotcha.
one kind of sibling at a time would call us and say, hey, I just got told I can't take time off. I have to stay here. So about 2 or 3 weeks before our scheduled wedding, we had about 6 people that could still come to the wedding.
Get out.
And then my parents had to cancel because my parents live in California, and California closed down a lot of their airports and travel and stuff like that, and they were getting plane tickets canceled. And so by the time the day our wedding hit, we had 3 people here.
My gosh.
Which were 2 of his siblings and one of his siblings' significant other. So, and we had 2 or 3 friends that we've made since coming to Florida that were also able to come. But we weren't able to have an actual wedding on that day because our wedding was supposed to be on the beach. They closed down all the beaches for safety reasons. The restaurant we were supposed to have the dinner at decided they weren't going to open. And the only thing I got my money back for was the flowers. I still had to pay for a cake for a wedding I didn't have. I still had to pay for the venue, and I still had to pay for the photographer, and I still had to pay for like the dinner and like everything basically. All of them told me they were not going to give me my money back. They said you can either cancel and not get your money back, or you can indefinitely reschedule. And I was like, well, most of my family is in the military and they can't just take time whenever they want. And we had already been engaged for over a year. And I was like, I personally don't want to do another year of just being engaged. So we ended up getting married, like signing the paperwork and everything in our living room in my sweats. I had a friend that was ordained, and he came over and just said, hey, you do? Okay, cool. And signed the paperwork. And then 2 to 3 months later, after we got married, the beaches reopened, and I got in contact with, my hairstylist and a really good photographer that I know in this area, and said, hey, can we pick a day that both of you guys are available? So I went and got my hair done in the morning, and then went to the beach and got my photos taken that day. So there was no real wedding. We just took wedding photos because I had a pretty dress that I wasn't going to be able to wear any other time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I feel like that's kind of the same situation that's happening in Chicago, like with venues. Venues are pretty much, because really it starts at the top with the venue, you know, and then all the other vendors kind of trickle down because we're business as usual. Like we have certain things added into our contract about safety precautions, but we're pretty much trying to work business as usual. Whatever the state says goes. So it's like we're waiting on what the venue is going to decide. And like if the venues, like if they have dates open even for next year, and your situation's pretty different because of the military situation with people not being able to travel and like schedules not, like you can't just pick another day next year, you know? So yeah, that's really good to know. Ugh. Well, you were an absolutely beautiful bride for your pictures. And I bet you were still just as beautiful in your sweats in your living room. So, you know, in the end of the day though, like I'm seeing your story and I'm hearing so many other stories, and I just feel like in the end of the day, like love is love. And I know that people have this amazing like vision in their head of like how their wedding day is going to go. I guess me being a vendor, I'm a little bit more, I don't know, like judgy on that front. Like I'm just like, it's never going to go how you plan. But like, I just feel like, you know, you're getting married because you love each other and you want to spend the rest of your life together. And that's really all that matters, you know?
Yeah.
But you got some great pictures. Your photographer was amazing.
She was. She did such a good job, far better than I expected. It was just,
yeah,
they were beautiful. So, what advice have you received either directly to you or you've just seen in another YouTube video that you think is complete bullshit? You can only grow cactus in the desert. That is total bullshit, actually. I mean, I've read a lot about, I got into cactus because my mom moved to Arizona, and like seeing the desert and just them growing in their natural habitat just really drew me into like how amazing cactus really are. Even though I'll be the first to tell you that they scare the hell out of me and I hate touching them. But I did so much reading on cactus specifically, and just like just keeping them like as houseplants. And I feel like a lot of it did say that, you know, if you didn't live in dry climates, that it would be damn near impossible to grow cactus elsewhere. And it's totally not true. I have like over 50 species of cactus in my Chicago home. They're all potted in mostly separate terracotta containers, and it just works. Like I don't really see an issue in keeping cactus in the Midwest. So debunked. It's been debunked. Off the top of my head, that's the first thing I could think of. No, that's a good one.
I don't think anybody said that on YouTube though. But I'd be curious to search that up. Like someone says you can't keep cactus other than in the desert.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today, Cheyenne.
Thank you for having me. It was super fun.
I appreciate it. You guys, if you're not already subscribed to Cheyenne's channel, it's Plant by Happy Space. I'm going to put a name at the bottom of the screen here, and I'm also going to link her channel in the description below. Go check her out, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications every time she posts a new video. And now that you're done with this video, go head over to her channel and watch our collab video on her channel, which I'm excited about. We're going to record it right now. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!